COVID-19 on the horizon, we're still looking for ways to boost our immune system. So how do we do that? Well, we're joined by expert Dr. Nicole Avena with Mount Sinai School of Medicine and Princeton University. Good morning to you, and I'm glad you're here to help us out with this today. How do you think that we should all prepare cautiously for this cold and flu season right in the middle of a pandemic?
Yeah, so it's important that we really just do everything we can to take care of ourselves. That means getting enough rest. It means getting enough exercise. It also means making good decisions about snacking. One of the things we want to do is make sure we're trying to avoid added sugar because too much sugar is not good for our immune system. So focusing on healthy snacks like fresh fruits or something that's, a little bit easier to take on the go, like crispy fruit snacks by Krispy Kreme make 100% freeze-dried fruit, which are great because they have no added sugar.
All right, that is good to know. Now, what about as far as supplements are concerned? I see you have some vitamins laid out there, and sometimes so many people wonder if it really does any good to boost the immune system. What is your take on it?
Well, I think it's always best to try to get everything we can from food, but it's not always that easy to get all the micronutrients that we need that really support our immune system through food. So things like vitamin C, vitamin D, and zinc are essential for our immune system, but we can't always get them through our diet. Even if we try to eat healthy as often as we can, a lot of times those nutrients just aren't in many of the foods that we regularly eat. So sometimes supplementing is a good idea. You always want to discuss it with your doctor, but there's easy ways to do it. There's a gummy that's made by VitaFusion that's great because it's easy to take. And then Frunetta makes sublingual vitamin D, zinc, and other products that are easy to take because it dissolves right under your tongue. So there's really no reason to avoid taking a supplement if you're afraid of big bulky pills. There's other things you can do.
Yeah, that is good to know. Now, what about the vaccine? Because a lot of people are asking us, well, you know what, should I get a flu vaccine with the COVID vaccine coming? What is your suggestion on that as an expert?
Well, we have to remember they're two completely different viruses that we're talking about. So the virus that causes influenza is very different than the virus that causes COVID-19. And so it's really like comparing apples and oranges. So we want to make sure that we're protected as well as we can be. So if you're concerned about getting the flu, it's important to make sure that you do get the vaccine, even though we do see that the COVID vaccine is on the horizon as well.
Well, and I'm glad that you talked about healthy snacking because I do believe as a medical reporter we are what we eat. Do you have some ideas of our overall diet and ways just so that we can help keep our body as healthy as can be besides just the snacks?
Yeah, so in addition to thinking about snacks, it's also about really just thinking about your lifestyle in general, trying to reduce stress because stress is not good for our immune system. It releases cortisol, and that is really going to have a negative impact on our immune health. Also, thinking about your beverages, making sure that you're making wise choices when it comes to drinking. So, for instance, if you're drinking alcohol regularly, especially during the holiday season, that can be not so good for your immune system. So try swapping in other things like kombucha, for example, is a great swap in for an alcoholic beverage. Also thinking about making sure that you're drinking beverages that have benefits to them. So obviously water is great, but water with added electrolytes is even better. So really just trying to make these little changes to your routine so that you can optimize your health and protect yourself.
Now, you talked about sleep, and we all kind of laugh, I think, when we think about, oh, in a perfect world, I would get 8 hours. But what is your suggestion on just how to get the best and most sleep you possibly can without stressing out about it to really help boost your immune system?
Yeah, I'm glad you said that because I think part of the problem with getting sleep for many people is that they have anxiety about falling to sleep or about making sure that they're getting sleep. So I think the best thing to do is to really just focus on your sleep routine, try to make sure that your room is as comfortable as you can make it, invest in some really nice sheets, make sure it smells nice in there, make sure it's nice and dark, and just make it so that you can relax. If you're able to reduce your stress and let your mind be at ease, that's the best way to fall asleep. Also, keeping the phones away at night is an important thing.
Easier said than done, but important advice right there. All right, great to talk to you this morning. Thanks for your tips.
Thank you.
It is 8:18 right now. After a couple of reschedules.